Hello and welcome to How To Friday. This Friday, we're going to talk about how to be more creative because the future belongs to creativity. If I Google right now, what are the skills for the future? I guarantee you the search results will come back and creativity will always be on that list. Do you know why that is? That's because creativity has been identified as an inherently human skill. What do you mean? What do I mean by inherently human? Okay. We can talk about that, but hopefully it's not the first time you're hearing this, but bots, robots, artificial intelligence, they're taking over jobs. And in the years to come, they're going to take over more jobs. How many jobs, the timeline, and the impact to society and humanity, that's being debated. Debates I highly recommend tracking and getting involved in. On the flip side, the other conversations are taking place because there's so much technology that will become part of our lives. The conversations are asking questions such as, what does it mean to be human? And skills and emotions, obviously things like passion and love and empathy and compassion, those are inherently human emotions. But there are also things, skills, traits like creativity, because creativity is not a personality trait, it's not an emotion, it's a skill, it's an ability, and that is inherently human. The humans, us, we have the ability of seeing something out of nothing, taking information that is known, that is old, normal, whatever, and creating something new out of it. The leaps that happen from what is there and what is created is creativity. You can give a machine, I don't care, deep learning, machine learning, don't care how intelligent that AI program is, it will not have the ability to take that leap of taking all the data that it has and then applying that data to something completely out of the blue, new, that has nothing to do with the data point itself. Humans have that ability. The implications when you start talking about the technology that is being developed and the capabilities and ability of that technology, it's mind-boggling. And the integration of all of that into our lives, well, that requires a lot of creativity. It requires people who look at the world and see possibilities. So it's not about being creative. Yes, artists are very creative. So people in the arts creating, I don't know, pieces of pieces of arts, paintings, sculptures, movies, theater, plays, poems, books. Those are very creative people. But you also have people who see the world differently, who think out of the box when faced with a problem. So what it means to be creative, you can't box it in. It's a very large immense concept, and the more creative you are, the larger the possibility that exists. So the future belongs to those who are going to be creative, who are creative, because that's how we'll colonize the moon, space, Mars. That's how technology will get implemented in our lives to make our lives easier. It, again, mind-boggling what the possibilities are. And creativity is the key. And creativity can be developed. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video, is how to become more creative. Let's do this. 10 ways of becoming more creative. Not a shocker here on the number one way. Adding novelty, first times, and new experiences is key to so many things. Actually, on this list, we're going to talk about quite a few things that we talked about in last week's video about how to be more open-minded, because remember, we're doing building blocks and they're not separate from each other, because if you think you can be more creative while you're closed-minded, doesn't happen. You have to be open-minded in order to be more creative. So some of those things are going to repeat themselves. Everything that I pretty much cover, the one thing that will always be on the list is new experiences, first times, and novelty. Not just because it's related to my business, but just how important that is in life. You have to expose yourself to learning new things, to having new experiences in order to feed your mind, to add to your knowledge to who you are, so that you can come up with new things. And your mind will, this is it's the beauty of creativity. Your mind will take leaps. Your subconscious will go and take leaps, and you will have aha moments. You will be impressed, surprised by what you come up with. The more you feed into your mind. You feed your mind by having new experiences and learning new things. Number 2, another way to feed your mind is to be curious. Stay curious and be curious. Ask why, how, what. Don't settle. You know, when we were kids, we asked all kind of questions all the time. Most of the time our parents didn't have the answer, but we were so curious about the world. And then we get a little older, we get a little bit more knowledge, and we stop wondering, we stop being curious. Don't stop being curious. Ask why, research why. How does this work? What makes this happen? Because your curiosity will once again feed your mind and create more understanding that you can leverage later on. And you don't, it's back to that magic that happens in your mind. It's not magic, it's proven by science, but I like to call it magic. And no, I don't do drugs. I have never touched any drugs, and it's very early on the Friday morning, but that is just me, right? Because I am so excited about possibilities, about what the mind can do. And I am most definitely very curious. I wonder things all the time. And I'll always research everything, because I don't know how much I would get done, because all I would be doing is learning. So you have to balance it, but be curious. Number 3, speaking of how we were as kids. When we were kids, we loved to play and we loved to pretend. So you can play pretend, or you can just play, or you can just pretend. But let's put it together, play and pretend. When we were kids, we mimicked our parents and what they did, and we mimicked cartoons, things that we saw, and we dug into our imaginations and we played it out. Well, again, you learn things as an adult and then you stop playing. Why? In order to be creative and stay creative, keep playing, keep using your imagination, keep pretending. Borrow kids. If you can't out on your own go do silly things and play pretend, then borrow some kids. If you don't have kids, nieces, nephews, volunteer with kids and enter into their world or imagination and make believe and play with them. But there's other ways to play as an adult. Comic-Con, fairs, what are they called? Medieval fairs, playing dress up. Don't just wait for Halloween. I don't know. Like, get back in touch to what it means to play and to pretend, because your mind will, and your creativity will love you for it. Read a lot. I mentioned this in last week's video on how to be more open-minded. Reading is just such an easy way to expose yourself, engage your imagination to other people's imaginary make-believe worlds. And as you're reading, your mind gets into that make-believe world and creates it, right? So I don't know anyone who reads who doesn't have kind of like a running movie in their minds as they're reading. So that is feeding your creativity to absorb other people's creative worlds. And it's just so easy to do. Download a book, an audiobook, buy a hard copy, get in bed, on the couch, on a chair, listen to it in the car, wherever, but engage in reading. Do some brainstorming, and I don't mean for work. This is to amuse yourself, and it's very easy to do. I have heard people say that you should do it while you're brushing your teeth. You know, you're supposed to brush your teeth for at least 2 minutes, so that is 2 60-seconds brainstorming session that you can have. How do you go about it? Very easy. Decide in 60 seconds, come up with as many words that start with the letter B, and go. And just let your mind wander and just spit out words that start with the letter B. Or pick a color or a place. Just anything that's going to engage your mind to think about things that it would never think about. You can do different association. Just, again, you're doing this in your mind. I mean, you can say it out loud, or you can just keep it in your mind, whichever way. There's also, you can go online and find apps that will help you brainstorm, that will give you prompts and cues for brainstorming. But once a day, have yourself a quick little brainstorming session, engaging your mind, again, to think about things that usually doesn't think about, do association it's not used to doing, and that will help you develop your creativity. Number 7, making things. I will be very upfront about this one. A lot of stuff that's on my 365 First Challenge list has to do with making things, because it's not something that I've been in the habit of doing. So whether it's in the kitchen and cooking off a brand new recipe and making things, or going in the garage and doing some woodwork, or, you know, doing crafts, doesn't matter. Doesn't even matter if you're good at it. It's the process of creating something that's going to help you increase your creativity. So the more you create, right, the more that you do, just like making these videos. So the more the videos, the more I edit the videos, well, I get better at it. So then I try and find other ways or new things to do. So when you are creating things, you get better at it, and then you get more creative to enhance what you've already done. And then it's not detached, right? So I'm assuming that as I start doing crafts, which for me, if you know me, this is a new territory. This is a new frontier of me going to making crafts. But I think, and I know, that making crafts is going to enhance my other abilities to make other things, because I'm working on my creativity. Much like reading, another thing that is very easy to use to have an impact is music. Music, science research has proven that music impacts our emotions, our feelings, and our thoughts. So listen to music that can either focus you or that opens your mind. Expose yourself to music that you've never heard before, and then let your mind wander, focus on it. And whatever trip it takes you on, whatever emotions it generates for you, live in that, experience it, and then I guarantee you it will also be improving your creativity. Journaling and writing. I'm putting them together, but they can be clearly 2 different things. Journaling you want to do to clear your mind. So the last 5 things have been about filling your mind. Well, you're going to need ways also to clear your mind in order for information to be processed and for you to better understand, you know, what you're going through and what you're experiencing. get rid of stress or emotions that might be blocking you. So journaling is just a great way to do that. Get your thoughts down so that you free your mind to either come up with a solution or think of something new. Writing, much like the brainstorming, you can find writing prompts and write some quick short blurb or story out of what the prompt is asking you to do. So that's a great way to, again, engage your creative mind very quickly, 5-10 minutes. Also work on your writing skills. This is something that writers use to get over writer's block. So, but it's not just for writers. Anyone can do that to improve their creativity. What number am I on? 9, I think. Okay, number 9, spend more time in nature. Nature, definitely being outdoors, one of my favorite place to be. And it ties back to kind of journaling, because one purpose that being in nature serves is that it clears your mind, right? So going for a walk, getting that fresh air, great way to clear your mind. And when you clear your mind, it gives the opportunity for something to just pop up in there that you had never thought of, or a connection gets created. Bam! You get an idea for something, you get an aha moment. The other thing about nature is that it's amazing. It's incredible. Go somewhere where you can be in sheer awe of what you see. Because one, it's going to touch your soul, your heart. It's going to go deep. And it's just going to amaze you. And it's going to make you realize, one, the world is beautiful. But two, it's incredible. And if that can exist, so, what else can exist? And it makes you hungry to see more, to be more in awe and wonder. It's an incredible feeling. So get out there in nature. It can be just around where you live and going on walks, but I also recommend get out, explore the national parks, and go to places that you've never seen, again, to be awed and amazed by what nature has to offer to help you increase your creativity. Last but not least is sleep. Again, clearing your mind, keeping your brain healthy. Sleep is needed for that. And you would think I would be able to say the easiest thing you can do for your creativity is get proper amount of sleep. Unfortunately, for some people, getting the proper amount of sleep is a challenge. And I'm not just talking about like new parents. There's other reason why people have a tough time sleeping. There's great information out there available for you to get some help on how to get better sleep. And clearing your mind is a great way to start that towards having. So if you spend time in nature in a new journal, or listening to good relaxing music, stuff that helps to put you to sleep in order for your mind to get the rest, in order to defrag and do what it has to do. So get good quality sleep, because that is key to your creativity. I hope you enjoyed this video and it is helpful. You do not need to do all 10 things at once, but pick a few and get to it. If you are enjoying this channel, subscribe to get more of the videos. If you are interested in getting the t-shirt, I will leave a link below to let you know where to go buy it. Would love a thumbs up. It's kind of a pat on the back. Make sure that I'm doing a good job and provided you what you need. Leave a comment. Let me know. How can I help you grow, change, get out there and having new experiences and first times? That's what I'm here for. So let me know. How can I help you? Have a wonderful week. Do get out there and have yourself some first times.